What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Figure It Out of the Basement's Black Series Talk Show. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
What's up, guys?
Today, we're going to be talking about Black Series figures that were this close to greatness.
They were indeed on the verge of greatness. We were this close. What we mean by that is that it's a fairly common trend in the Black Series. I'm not saying this in a super negative way. But there seems to be a lot of figures that are just like one thing away from like basically being flawless or like being just a slam dunk. There's always one or two little things like holding a figure back. It could be an amazing figure. It could be a bad figure. Like it could be something that ruins the entire figure, or it could be like a 9.5 out of 10 that would have just been like a perfect figure. There always seems to be like just one or two things holding a figure back.
Yep. So you're going to see some surprises on this. This is definitely kind of like a different style of video. We're not necessarily saying these figures are bad.
Right.
Because, you know, with some of these on here, people are going to take it the wrong way.
Yeah, of course.
They're going to take it the wrong way. So, again, these are figures that were so close to being perfect. Or just being great. Before we get started, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about Star Wars The Black Series here on the channel.
Yes, sir. Our first selection today is actually a Force Spirit figure, and it's Anakin Skywalker. The main reason being they forgot to put the correct head on the figure. They put the wrong head on it, Nate.
True. I mean, you know, some special edition bullshit. If you ask me, it's got Hayden's likeness when it should be Sebastian Shaw, the real Anakin.
Yeah, this one's obviously just a joke, but I would have picked up the set if it was a Sebastian Shaw likeness.
Yeah, dead serious. Would have got this. Would have actually paid full price for it. For the 3-pack.
Yeah, I don't really care what makes sense in the story or, you know, the canon and, like, acknowledging the prequels and everything. For me, it's just, I prefer my despecialized theatrical cuts of the original trilogy. There's something about going back to a movie that's now over 40 years old and just, like, messing with it that I really don't like. So it's more so, like, the preservation of art. Have some integrity, George.
Damn.
I mean, we've just always hated. George Lucas. I love George.
Yeah.
I love George,
Right.
I really do passionately dislike the special edition. So this first pick is just a meme.
I agree. Despecialized all the way. Now here's where we're going to really lose people, because the first figure we're actually going to be talking about is none other than Savage Opress.
Yeah.
Now just wait. Because I hear the clacking. These past few videos, I've heard the clacking clear as day coming through. And what we are mainly talking about is the fact that while Savage is a great figure, love the axe, the figure looks good, great paint details, the lightsaber is missing that wonderful silver paint that we're accustomed to in the line. Yep. But recently, there's been a little trend going on where they've started to remove the silver paint on the lightsabers, leaving it as a dull gray, and we just think that it looks bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so dull, and if you look at the chrome finish on, like, I think the Luminara Unduli saber, it's, like, so good. It's like one of the few things Savage is missing that would put him to a 10 out of 10. The other one, of course, being thigh swivel, but I didn't really consider much articulation in here because some of these figures are older, and I'm like, well, that's just a product of the time.
Right.
But there are, you know, it could be any element for this video, including missing accessories. I did put one figure on here that the theme is missing a key accessory, which, I mean, I feel like we're going to make a video on that. Maybe top 10 missing accessories in the Black Series line. Continue the trend of making videos about accessories. But for this video, I chose the Ferrex Officer because, Nate, these guys have shields.
Yep.
Like,
one of the
crazy.
One of the biggest disappointments was seeing the Ferrex officer and then watching the show. And then being like, oh, every single one of them has a shield?
Right.
Almost none of them don't have the shield?
Right. And a baton, like, they are riot control, in the scene on Ferrex. Yeah. They are essentially acting as riot control. So they all have shields, and they all have, like, batons, too, because it's like a non-lethal, kind of deal before the stormtroopers step in.
Right.
So I feel like that's actually a huge thing to get wrong. And I mean, the figure has so much reuse anyway, so it's like, can free up a little budget for a baton and a riot shield.
Yeah, just a little black stick. Put a little bit of silver paint on the end of it or something.
Yep. Heading over to the Bad Batch for a brief moment, Admiral Rampart is one small detail away from being an otherwise literally flawless figure, and that is his rank plaque is incorrect.
Ooh.
And I would imagine at the time they just didn't have the tooling for the, like, singular line with the individual boxes, the squares that make up their ranking. He uses, like, the 2-line version that, Tarkin and everybody else has.
Yeah.
So it's just straight up the wrong rank. The color orientation is incorrect, and then the shape, sculpt work of it is also incorrect. So, I mean, that's just one small detail away, because he came with the mouse droid, he came with a blaster. I mean, what else do you really need with him? He's an otherwise flawless figure, but just that one small detail can really, like, kind of get under my skin like that.
Yeah, it's honestly something I didn't notice before,
That's what they're relying on.
That's
what they're relying on.
Before we were picking, options for this video.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy to me, but not surprising. But at the same time, it's like, you're absolutely right. It's like, how hard is it to just...
Because they have messed around with that to make it accurate to, like, the OT officers that we have. They're like, they have some unique tooling to them.
Yeah, I think the plate is a separate glued down piece. I'm almost certain.
Okay, now you really have no excuse for that, Hasbro. You can tool the... Maybe that's why they included the mouse droid, like... I don't know.
They're like, look at the mouse droid.
Yeah, look at the mouse droid.
Like, wait, he's not an admiral, but look at the mouse droid.
Right. This figure's also like $5 on Walmart.com right now.
Yeah.
Get some mouse droids, everybody.
Right. Next up, we're going to jump back to the OT, and let's talk about a deluxe Rebel Trooper from Endor.
We were so close. This is one that really is just... This so close.
Is the Endor Rebel Soldier the Icarus of the Black Series? Flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, because, of course, the Hoth Rebel Soldier is, like, one of the best Black Series figures of all time. And I'm not even talking about, like, them not making the faces interchangeable. Yeah. Like, sure, that's a disappointment, but I get it from an engineering standpoint because their whole, like, neck and everything was covered on Hoth. But for this one, it's that gray knee. And it's the lack of a poncho.
Yeah, I think the Endor Rebel is a pretty good figure, but
it is.
The lack of variety, the lack of customization, especially when you compare it to the Hoth Rebel, is
and like
just...
they have a jacket. Yeah. They gave Han Solo a jacket in the Heroes of Endor set, and as you can see in the sequence, almost every single Endor Rebel soldier has like some sort of a poncho or a jacket. So they should have included that because it's deluxe.
Right.
It's a deluxe figure that doesn't feel deluxe at all because when you articulate the knee, what do we see, Nate?
That big, blank, gray knee. This was so disappointing when it was coming out. We saw it in the promo pictures.
Yep.
Obviously, in hand, we started to see pictures, and I can understand the logic behind why they did it, because I would assume eventually paint rub, and maybe it would rub off, but it's a deluxe figure, so just paint the damn thing.
Or just cast it in green.
Yeah, that would be the other solution. I would also say is they could have chose a better plastic to cast the legs in, so it wouldn't have looked as egregious, but... Yeah, you pose your Endor Rebels in a kneeling shooting pose, and they just randomly have gray knees sticking out. And again, just such a shame for a deluxe figure, such a shame for a Rebel Trooper as the follow-up to the amazing Hoth Rebel.
Yeah. All right, final 3, guys. For our third to last pick, we have Luke Skywalker.
Ooh.
And for me, I would say Farm Boy, but you also wanted to throw in, was it Jedi Knight?
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Luke Skywalker body sculpts, the modern ones are great. I mean,
That's true.
The new Farm Boy Luke is like a perfect figure aside from the head. So it was such a perfect pick for this video.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is, I mean, deep cut butters, really good articulation, the hard plastic, so like you get some good sculpted detail. It's like so good except for the head, and it kind of kills the figure for me.
Yeah, it was so close to perfection. It could have dethroned the SH Figure Arts.
Yeah.
It was close.
Right.
But the SH Figure Arts still reigns supreme.
True.
Because the head sculpt is actually pretty solid on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. But I think the same exact thing happened with Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, the most recent one as well. It's a great figure from the neck down, but the head just, I don't know who that is. It's not Mark Hamill.
Right.
It almost harkens back to the old figure because they kind of gave him like the sad,
like Ellen DeGeneres,
like puppy dog eye,
yeah,
weird looking face. I don't understand why Mark's face is so hard for every single action figure company to
he just
get
has one
right.
of those faces.
But Hasbro particularly has been just like,
they've
been all across the board.
The new Farm Boy Luke, I want to say, I think it might be the worst out of all the photoreal Mark Hamill, and especially the
open mouth is crazy.
The slightly open mouth. Straight up, Nate, I put the blast shield helmet on this figure, which is kind of weird because it's like a super modern Black Series. Like, it came out this year, and I'm covering his face.
I did the same exact thing. Mine is posed on the shelf, blast shield down.
Yeah.
Deflecting the training ball.
Which, like, it works.
Yeah, I think it's fine like that, but we shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no reason Farm Boy Luke should have been so bad in the face. We're going to jump back to the Bad Batch, which a lot of those figures suffered from concept art syndrome.
Yes.
Where they came out when the show was dropping, so they're based on concept art, so they have minor inaccuracies. The one we're focusing on is Imperial Crosshair, and this one is a pretty cool, fun design. I love the design of Imperial Crosshair. So sick. The all black armor with the green visor just looks so dope.
But what they go and do, they randomly reused the shoulder armor for the left shoulder from Bad Batch Crosshair, which features this super long, like, antenna piece thingy that is completely absent from what we see in the show. It is just a regular piece of shoulder armor.
Yep.
It's closer to, like, Stormtrooper armor.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is there's also a couple other minor, like, different armor pieces, like, that look more Imperial Stormtrooper, but obviously they just took the easy way out. They just painted that crosshair body black and said, all right, it's good enough. We did the new helmet.
They did do the new helmet. I'm fried right now. I can't remember. I feel like, isn't the torso different?
Maybe the torso is different.
There might have been some sort of different overlay deal, because I remember people making a big deal of, they can make a new piece for that, but they just reuse the shoulder armor, something like that. Correct us in the comments down below.
You don't have your Bad Batch figures anymore. And,
nope.
And mine aren't on display anymore, so...
Oh, no!
Uh-oh.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Ending on a great note here with Arc Commander Jesse. This is like my number one pick because the Arc Trooper body, like, sure, it's great, 2020 clone body, but at the time it was fine. But that helmet, man, they just randomly decided to literally make up their own slop.
Yeah.
for no, like, Hasbro as a company made up their own slop because Jesse doesn't use the Arc like 1.5 helmet, which is like a phase 2 looking helmet with the fin and like the angular shape is a little different.
Right.
Jesse just uses a straight up phase 2 helmet, which they had the sculpt for. They just had to paint it.
Yeah, this one is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
You look at something like Arc Commander Jesse and you seriously wonder, did anyone bother to Google a picture of what Arc Commander Jesse actually looks like?
It makes absolutely no sense.
Because you just take one look at it and you go, oh, that's just the Phase 2 helmet. That's not an ARC Trooper helmet.
Right. And it's like they did the paint scheme
Yeah.
on the Echo helmet, which is just not the helmet you're supposed to use. And that is why I would say it's one small step away from being an otherwise just slam dunk, perfectly fine, no real big flaws with it.
Yep.
It was so stupid.
Yeah.
Why do they keep fumbling on clones?
Yeah.
Why is that such a common trend?
The easiest thing to get right, clone troopers. The things that are supposed to look the same. And they all have weird minor differences.
Yep.
Different shoulder pad sizes, different knee pads, where they're glued or they're not glued.
Different sculpts, really odd character selection. They make up their own stuff sometimes, like Jesse, and even Fives has like a... His design is like tiny.
Yeah.
It's just blow it up.
Right. There's no reason they had to make it so small.
They're just like minimize for no reason.
They accidentally pressed 60% on the graphic, and then they comically hit like enter on a computer, and it like started the factory run.
Yep.
And they're like, we can't stop it.
Yeah, I guess you could throw Fives. I guess like Jesse and Fives are interchangeable with that.
There's a bunch of other.
There is so many.
Picks
Let us know
out there that you could definitely choose from. Another one that jumps to my mind: Ahsoka the White, no cloak, no thigh swivel, no cloak.
Yeah.
Otherwise, would have been a pretty banging figure.
Right. That's kind of the theme here. Is like it seems like it's always like one or two things.
Yeah.
That they've done before. It's not like we're asking for like import level quality.
I am.
All right. With articulation or accessories or what have you. I mean, Morgan Elsbeth should have came with the spear. Like, that's one. Mon Mothma come with a cup. Would have been perfectly fine. I mean, there's a bunch. So I really am curious to hear in the comments down below. Maybe we'll have to do a sequel to this video.
You know that's why we don't load them all into one video. You gotta save some for the part 2. And with that being said, that's all we've got for you on this week's episode of Figure It Out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about the Black Series here on the channel. If you are in a position to help support us directly, we do also offer a couple different channel membership tiers. Check those out in the description down below. And while you're there, join that Discord.
Join it up.
That one is totally free. It's a great way to get connected with us and other like-minded members of the community. All you got to do is make an account. Of course, we do have to give a special shout out and a huge thank you to all of our current channel members. Your continued support is truly appreciated, and thank you to everyone else out there for watching. I'm Nate. I'm joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And we will see you all next time on Out of the Basement.